We start this week out with a bunch of deer at the feeder. Yes, we do. And a lot of girls out there, but see one big old set of antlers out there, and we know who that is. That's Thundercloud, big Thundercloud. Big giant set of horns on his head. Thundercloud is probably 7 or 8 years old. We don't know for sure. But he is a big boy. Look how big he is. Now, those are some big does out there. Those are some big does and big yearlings, big fawns that were born this year. But look at Thundercloud. He is big, and he's got a big set of antlers on him. He's fat. Look at him. They're not paying a whole lot of attention, but Ellie walking around out there, not too far from him. He is definitely enjoying himself. Here comes a couple more coming up through the woods. My. There's at least 10 deer out there, 10 or 12. And they're being a little aggressive about the food. It's going to be really nice today, get up in the high 50s or maybe even the low 60s. It's freezing out there right now, down below 32. The deer are looking beautiful. That's a good bunch of deer. Ten or 11 deer there in that little bunch. Loving South Fresh deer food. Throwing out that Texas 100 feeder. A lot of food's gone through that old feeder. Hadn't done anything but replace the battery in it. Been there several years. They're made to work, very dependable. What a beautiful way to start the morning. What a beautiful way to start another week at the ranch. What'll happen this week, we don't know. I've seen those baby bald eagles. Hopefully see them around pretty close. It's always an incredible sight, I believe. They're beautiful birds. They're large birds, huge wingspans. And we've got a lot of them in Oklahoma. We've got a lot of bald eagles all over the United States. What an incredibly great symbol bird for our great nation. Our great nation getting greater all the time. Do we have a mama with triplets out there? Or is that just 2 mamas and 2 babies? I'm not sure which. Yeah. I think we had, I don't know, I think we got 2 mamas and 2 babies. Yeah, look at that one doing zoomies. Doing little zoomies around his mama there. Yeah, look at him go. Look at him go. Look at him go. You don't get to see many zoomies. They don't do that a whole lot. But on a good, crisp, cool morning like this, that one there is really enjoying the morning. 2 mamas and 2 babies is what we got. I thought maybe we had a deer show up with triplets. That would be possible. I haven't seen one run around this year with triplets. I remember Lucy. Everybody remembers Lucy, America's deer. Lucy had triplets, and she was probably carrying triplets right before she died. She was awfully big and injured herself somehow while I was at the hospital with Chris. Hard to imagine that that's been 3.5 years ago since we lost Lucy. Very special deer. Go in the boat with me. If I left her on the bank, she'd swim out to the boat to me, jump in the boat, ranger boat, while it's on the trailer in the yard or in the boat building. Love to come in the house. Love to eat out of your hands. Loved people. Love to be loved on. Love to love you back. Lucy, America's deer. But it's not triplets out there, I don't think. I think it's just one smaller doe and 2 singles. This I think what we got there. Feeding on the ryegrass that I plant in the yard for the wintertime and for the deer. Quite a deal. Looks like they're in prison. They're not. Hoping to do something about that rail. If I can get somebody to give me a good price on glass. So far that hadn't happened. We haven't seen any elk here at the house in a few days. And I've been gone, so I haven't really got to ride around the ranch at all, other than coming in and going out. But there's a big old baby calf out there. And also right behind that tree, I believe, or behind that old basketball goal laying down, the base of a basketball goal, I think is his mama. I think I can see part of an elk there, can I? And I see one of the white deer back in that enclosure there, along with some of her others. There she is right there. That's a big, beautiful Pearl. Somebody named her Pearl, and I kind of like that name, Pearl. And she's a big, beautiful deer. Hopefully we'll have it's the only female albino that we have. And she's in there with Casper, the friendly ghost. And she should give us a baby or two this year. But I think, it looks like it's in the pen, but it's not. Right behind, you see the top back of that cow elk there. I guess in that one out in the foreground, although it's really, really big, it's just a baby. And it's a big baby. That might be the mama. That might be the mama. The baby might be behind. I don't know. I think it might be it. I think the other one looks smaller now. I get to looking at it a little closer. And it gets a little bit closer. And in the background, inside the pen, is Pearl, albino. Yeah, that's the young one over there talking to the whitetail deer. They're sucking up acorns is what they're doing. We don't want too many elk hanging around the house, but it's always nice to see one every now and then. And we're seeing two right there this morning, which is really, really good. They're enjoying all the acorns falling. There are lots and lots of them. It's definitely acorn time of the year. There's Casper. Speaking of Casper, there's Casper right there, moving around out there this morning. They have a lot of acorns falling in those pens as well. Lots of acorns falling in the pens. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing to look at right there. Elk, whitetail deer, albino deer, all in one little shot there. Yeah. That isn't funny. Look at that. He's not going to stay around. A young elk right there. Almost on the deck. Almost on the deck. That's funny. There's a pretty mama. Pretty mama and a baby. Thought I saw two babies down there. Just a mama and a baby, I guess. Just a mama and a baby out in the yard. The baby says, "Mama, do I really have to leave? I see you walking away, but do I really have to go?" Oh, there's the other baby. Oh, there's some more deer down there, in fact. Really, really windy. I need a microphone on, probably so staticky you can't understand. Yeah, some more of them down there. I don't have a microphone. Stepped out here actually just to send some stuff to Sherry. Those are definitely totally wild deer. They're fine. They're fine. Noise and all. Jimmy, you're a lousy cameraman. Trying to block the wind and shoot camera at the same time. Not very good at either one. It's always kind of sad when you see a baby deer running around by itself, and this is the time of the year that it happens. And actually, it's the time of the year that some of them get killed by hunters because they mistake a small deer for a larger deer, and they're just trying to take a doe tag, fill a doe tag for meat. And they'll shoot a yearling, and a lot of times it's a little nubbin buck, and that's just such a frustrating situation when it happens because no one wants to kill a little nubbin buck. These deer were born in April, May, June, some even in July. And the reason that they're appeared to be orphans right now, most of the times they're not. Now, they can be, particularly after hunting season where perhaps their mama was killed by a hunter. But most of these that you see that are by themselves, and this little guy right here has been around here for several days. And I say guy, I haven't really put the binoculars on him, see if it's a guy or a girl. He's a pretty good sized little guy, but kind of looks like a girl. Beautiful, beautiful, fat little deer. And stays here at the house just about all the time. But more than likely, his mama is still has been run off by a buck in the rutting process and is running around. We have not killed any does at all on the ranch here this year, so it's very unlikely that deer's mama was killed by a hunter unless it got off the property. Now, it's possible that deer's mama could have been killed by coyotes or a bobcat or a mountain lion. We have mountain lions here, and not a lot of mountain lions in southern Oklahoma, but there are several, and they are illegal to hunt here in Oklahoma. You can kill a mountain lion if it's on your ranch and you feel like it's getting your cattle or your livestock, whatever they may be, goats, cattle, sheep, whatever, or deer or your wildlife. And without a doubt, if they are on your property, that's how they survive, is eating meat. And so you are allowed to kill them, and I've seen them a few times here over the 20-plus years we've been here on Twin Eagle Ranch, and we have not ever shot at one. We haven't killed any, but actually it is legal to do it. A landowner could do it on his own property. In Texas, they are a predator just like a coyote, and they can be hunted year-round. But here in Oklahoma, you have to... the landowner can kill it as a depredation to keep it from eating his cattle or livestock or wild game. But that little baby is a beautiful little deer, and I think it's a doe. I didn't see any nubbins. A beautiful little deer, probably a high-class deer that got great genes in her. She's so big, she walked behind that tree, but she's just been hanging around the house here, probably waiting on and hoping that her mama comes back. And I hope that happens, but it's all part of the process also of those deer learning to survive on their own. She's been taught a lot by her mama, and even though her mama may or may not come back, she's able to survive herself in the wild. She or he is able to survive by herself in the wild and continue living, live a great life. And she's certainly in a great place to live a great life. There's no doubt about that, and I think she knows it. So that's actually... nice to see that little baby hanging around. I see her every single day, and she's become one of my favorites. And hopefully her mom will come back. Hopefully her mom has just been run off by a big old buck and being bred, and get her some brothers and sisters come springtime, which winter is just arriving on December 20 or December 22. But I don't remember which day it is. It'll be the shortest day of the year. But... beautiful day here, and she's enjoying life. She's probably a little lonely without her mama, but what a beauty she is. The feeder has gone off, and we've had a couple, 2 or 3 deer that I've watched run in. I was inside. I didn't hear the feeder go off, but when the deer started running in, I knew the feeder had gone off. One of those deer that are out there is the one that's got the one good side of horns, antlers, and the other side is either broke off or only one big old long antler. I haven't really looked at it good through the binoculars, so I don't know. That's him way off out there in the distance. That's him way back there behind. He hasn't come up here with the girls. Red tag is out there, and I did take a look at that little lone fawn that's by itself. Yearling, we call it, as big as they are this time of the year. And it's a little girl fawn there, but that fawn is definitely a buck. And red tag just come running in, and I think that's him right there. I'm not positive, but he's hanging around. And there's another deer on the other side right behind that tree right there, totally behind that tree. Just disappeared behind that tree. But it's very possible that little button buck has been run off, and the little doe is not. The big bucks will kill a baby buck. I mean, they certainly will. That's one thing. There's, you see the deer there in the foreground, just stuck his head behind that tree. Is the deer. It's got one really nice side, 4 or 5 point. Now look right up here, and you can get a really close look because these babies have come right up to the house. You know, when we eat corn, if we have any corn left, I just throw it out there and throw it out there to eat. I'm talking about canned corn. But now you can see right there, Red Tag has got both her babies with him. And there's the little buck. You can see his nubbins on his head. He's the one on the left. They're very, very close. They're only 18 or 20 yards away from me where I'm standing. And that is Red Tag. Hard to see from this side. You can barely see it. From the outside, you can see the tag very well. That's Red Tag and her two babies. It's very likely. Now, Red Tag came running in from way out in the woods. I saw her way out there running. And it's very possible that that little orphan buck, as we've been sort of calling him the last few days, belongs to Red Tag. But then again, he might not. He's going off by himself now. And he might be feeling his independence, as a matter of fact. And even at his age, he might have got after a girl also. You know, he may not be a man yet, but he'd be like a 10 or 12-year-old. I'll just leave it at there. Well, he's gone back to the feeder right now, so he might be trying to strike out on his own. Here's more deer coming in from this other side, another little button buck there. And it's Mama. And now Red Tag and her baby are still right here by the house. Her fawn baby, her doe baby, doe fawn. And the little buck is, could be that other one. And he might just be kind of trying to strike out on his own. And she's very willing to let him if he wants to do that. She heard me talking. Even though I'm in one of the bedrooms shooting out the window, she heard me talking. And she's real close to the house. It's eating acorns right there is what she's eating. And we blow this deck off. We blow this deck off, all the acorns on the deck. We blow it off every day with a steel blower. And it's one of the greatest things I ever bought was that steel blower. I'm not sponsored by Steel. I should be. I use a lot of their products. We are not sponsored by Steel, but if you want a great product for the man of your life, a Steel battery-operated blower. You use it all the time. We use it not every day, but pretty close. It's a great gift for a man, or a great gift for a woman that wants to keep her decks and porch clean, a deck if she got it, a boat dock, whatever. They're light and powerful, and they really work well. That one little buck took off on his own. I haven't seen that other buck. He's out there in the woods somewhere, but the feeder is like a deer call. Calls them right in. I thought I might be able to catch that buck with the bad antlers out of this bedroom window here. I've not been able to do that, but when I come around here, I see 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's Red Tag right there with her little doe fawn. I see 4 deer here. But as I pan around, trying to look and see what I can see, I come around over here, and I see 2 more right here as we look out at the lake. The lake is beautiful, gorgeous out there this morning. It's going to get to 62 degrees today, 65 degrees tomorrow. It's going to be another beautiful Sunday. God gives us so many beautiful Sundays. It's amazing. We do our Sunday afternoon chat or walk in the woods or whatever we do. And it's amazing how many of those Sundays are gorgeous, just gorgeous. Sunday is God's day. He calls it his day in the Bible. And it's a holy day. The day we go to church. We don't keep it as holy as God would like for us to keep it, that's for sure. Many of us go fishing Sunday afternoon. A lot of us do work on Sunday afternoon. And I'm not sure God's real happy about all that, but this deer walking back to the woods to go back to where some of the others are. But acorns are falling with all the wind, a little bit of rain. Deer are feeding heavily on the acorns. I got to tell you, though, they love that South Fresh deer food coming out of that Texas Hunter feeder more than they do the acorns. Or maybe they just think that's a bunch of really tasty acorns falling. It's pretty looking at those guys walking through the woods, isn't it? There's 5 right there. I love it.